So. Sunrise on a Saturday, I'm headed out to the lake, just my buddy and me. Got my boat hooked up to my Chevy truck. I'm running high on luck, I ain't ever coming down. Time to back the boat down the ramp again. Do everything we can to come back in with a winning side. That's a life of a fisherman you wouldn't understand. Something you can't feel on dry land. You gotta get your arms way up in a kayak and set the hook on a smallmouth bass, and then you'll understand. Gotta get your hands on a Shimano and a jewel that's trying to bet you like what you feel. Stay on the day. Give it a whirl. I wish I could sing like Tyler Waller sings. Every single time I hear that song, like it gives me chill bumps. Like I don't know if you guys can even see that in the camera. Goosebumps. I just love that jam, guys. That's My World by Tyler Waller. I tell you what, I'm actually contemplating. I think I'm gonna see if he'll give me permission to just make that. I've been using that during this set of weigh-in shows. This series of the 10 that we're in. I think we're episode number 11 on tonight. Like I'm not gonna lie to you guys, my nights and my days, they're spinning together. But we're getting it done. I got told today to keep up the momentum, right? Like I'm gonna slip. Come on now, I get pumped. When I realize we got a hammer on the other end of the line here. Like there's a hammer in the green room right now. Actually, it's a hammer in his truck. We're gonna get into the details. Like this guy's on the struggle bus, technology wise. The dude can catch a fish anywhere. Like I've seen it happen. Connecting to a podcast, not his strong suit. We'll get there though. We'll get there. You guys are already dropping in the comment section left and right. Dylan, that haircut, bro, that haircut. You guys hadn't seen it yet, and you should have had those locks on the show a couple nights ago, bro, when we interviewed you. But that haircut, dog, that's gonna make television history in Florida in just a couple weeks. I love it. Sam Jones is in the house. What's up, bro? Jerry's in here. Derek Brundle's in here. What's up, Hammer? Ronnie Griffin's out of Kentucky. Bowling Green representing. Brock Howells, Indiana. What's up? Sean Scott's in the house. South Carolina strong, repping it. Hope everybody in the middle of the country is doing well. They're talking about a lot of bad weather around here tomorrow. I think that weather is already over there now. So, guys, I posted it on my page when I shared it a minute ago, but the champ is here. The champ is here. You hear me? The champ is in the building. The 2019 Kayak Bass Fishing National Champion, Mr. Mike Elsea. Woo! I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. Every single time I scream the champ is here, I go right back to being in that room and being right there with all those guys. And I mean, and just, we went through, 500 dudes, anglers. Sorry, ladies. A bunch of you ladies are amazing. You know what I mean? Just table talk. But 500 anglers in the room representing, and have been grinding for a 3-day tournament. And I mean, there's a whole bunch of money on the line, and Mike Elsea standing there with the head down, bro. Mike's a good dude. Like, he's centered. He's got God in his life in the right way. Like, he's a good dude. Like, I love these other 11 guys, but Elsea's head and shoulders. I mean, not physically, but he's head and shoulders above the rest of these guys. He's going to hit me for that comment. But like, he's a good dude, man. He's a humble guy who just grinds and tries to do the right thing every time. And I'm not gonna lie, I admire that. This is very easy to be in a sport where it's about me and it's about, more than get mine. I want for me. Elsea's not that dude. He's not in the time I've known him. Now, I'll preference that and I'll put him on blast. When we did the 10 last year, I didn't know who Mike Elsea was. No disrespect. He came out of the boat world, but he got in that Titan and went to work. And we're going to go to work right here tonight, guys. We're going to go to work right here tonight. If you guys have seen the show before, please, oh my goodness, I hope you have, right? But here's how you do this in the comment section right now. We got to get this thing rolling in the comment section right now. Drop in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. We love seeing where everybody's at across the country. Just follow suit. Guys are already doing it. Beltran's in here with the champ. You're right. It's the champ. The champ is here. He's here. And we're fixing to get him on the screen. If you guys want to win $1,000, yeah, you heard me. Hello, $1,000. Anybody interested? Right? All you got to do is when you share this thing, go in and share it. It's on the button right there. Bam. Hit that little share button. You're going to type in hashtag DZ10. And then you can tag either the champ or any of these other 10 guys. We're going to search that hashtag. We're going to search DZ10 on Monday night with Ron Champion and Corey Dreyer in the house. The co-champs from the original 10, the OGs. They're coming in the house Monday night to talk about all this. And they're going to pick a winner, like flat out, for $1,000 in DZ. $1,000 in DZ. Anyway, the champ's in the building. There's no point in waiting anymore. Let's kick this thing off right. Y'all ready? What's going on Facebook Live? Whoa! What up, everybody? Welcome to the weigh-in. I'm your host, Scott Beutjer. The champ is in the building. Let's bring on Mr. Mike Elsea. Let's bring him on right now. No more waiting, guys. The champ's here. Mr. Mike Elsea, what's up, my brother?
Hey, how's it going, guys? How you doing, Scott?
Doing good, buddy. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing awesome, buddy. I've been so pumped up about watching everybody so far, on your show, which, by the way, you're doing a fantastic job. And I'm just so excited to be here, man. I really appreciate it.
Dude, well, we've got to spend time together down in Louisiana right after right when you were in the whirlwind of it. I don't know if you remember any of that because it was a tornado, bro, right?
It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't trade it for the world,
dude. You literally have taken the biggest title in our community and ran with it this year, bro.
I know, man. I've tried. I don't know, man. I feel like I didn't exactly set the world on fire this year, but I want to try harder this time around.
Didn't set the world on fire. Okay, let's just lay out facts. I'm just gonna spit facts. We've had multiple national champions, and no disrespect to the other two, but we've only had two, and that includes you now this year, right now. The only other national champion to make it into the 10 house is Mr. Matt Ball. No disrespect to the other two champs. The guys have proven themselves. But getting here, winning this, this and AOY with the NC, that's the triple threat.
Yeah, that would be awesome to do. I mean, that's it would certainly be history in the making for sure. I'm very blessed to be in that position to potentially make some history.
Now let's go way back, bro. Let's kick it all the way back in the Elsea history books, right? What bro? I mean, you fished for as long as you can remember, right?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a fishing family. I think I got my first fishing pole when I was, I don't know, maybe 3. I don't remember. But I've pretty much fished all my life. I grew up fishing. My grandparents had a little weekend cottage on a lake up in northern part of Indiana. And then my parents ended up taking that over and then getting another place and then eventually, building a house and all that kind of stuff. So I've always had a place to go fishing, it seemed like, on the weekends. And then it just kind of grew from there. Our family vacations would be a week's vacation up in Michigan somewhere on the lake fishing. So fishing has been my life. It's in my blood.
Now, you did big boat tournaments for years, right? I mean, how did you get into that? I mean, I know it's in the blood, but I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you had a name for yourself in that community too.
I mean, I started like most people do, local club level stuff. I started competing when I was 16. That was the legal age that when you could actually enter boat tournaments. And so I started out just as a co-angler or a non-boater, fishing out of the back at a local club level. And I'll never forget it, man. My very first tournament that I ever fished, I finished second. So, I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. And then just that drive just kind of took off from there. So over the years, I've, fished from local club levels to, a state level, and then got into, buddy tournaments, team trails, things of that, like that. Then after college and everything, once I was in school, I didn't really get to fish a whole lot, but I did actually start the first bass club at Murray State University, so that was kind of cool. So still was able to be on the water, get around the water as much as I could during school or during college. But then after that, just started fishing as much as I could. Finally got a boat of my own. Like I said, fished at team trails, and kind of graduated up from that to kind of a more of a pro-am type of deal, or a draw format. American Bass Anglers was one of the trails that I fished and did really well in there. I got Angler of the Year several times, for my region and so forth, and qualified for national championships and all that kind of thing. And then from there, just basically kind of kept going, and then eventually made my way up to like the Bassmaster Opens and the FLW Tour, the Coastas, things like that, and fished on the pro side for 5 or 6 years, and then that's my history in a nutshell as far as
there had to be some transition time, Mike. I don't know that
Oh, yeah.
you've really talked about this publicly. What was the transition? And I'm sorry to throw you on the spot, bro, but welcome to the weigh-in.
That's fine.
What was the transition out of the boat world, bro? What was, and failure is the wrong term, but what was like you stopped, right? So
Yeah.
what happened there?
Man, life's just gotten away. Had a little bad spell in life. Went through a divorce, and so that plays I don't know how to say it. That wreaks havoc on one's life. I just
that cripples you mentally, emotionally, financially, physically. Like that's crippling.
All that stuff. So at any rate, that's essentially what happened, man. So I had to bail out for a while. So yeah, I sold my boat and everything, and
but how good
I wasn't fishing.
But how good is God's plan, bro? Because you found plastic boats.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, when one door closes, not to sound cliche, but another one opens. That's pretty much the transition. A good friend of mine, his name's Dirk Hayward, and we used to fish together on some of the events.
Dirk Haywood, for the other 10 guys who are fixing to get their butt kicked in Kissimmee, Florida. Dirk is the guy that you all need to be mad at. He's the reason that Mike Elsie's coming to whoop your butt in Florida. Go ahead.
No, it's all good, man. So yeah, anyway, he got him just a plain box store brand kayak, and was out on small waters and having a good old time and taking pictures and sending me text and all this and that. And, I was like, yeah, that's cool. It looks like fun. Finally, enough of it. I had to dabble in it myself a little bit. So I went to a box store and did the same thing. I started out with just a regular sit-in kayak or whatever. And I paddled around a little bit and it was fun. I mean, it was neat. It's kind of, being eye level with the fish, if you will. And, but it was so uncomfortable though. I think just like broke my back.
I mean, yeah, you got a huge heart, but Mike, I mean, I'm not making fun, but you're not a huge man, right? And so even in that boat, like it wasn't right for you. So
dude, I'm used to standing up, man. I mean, the previous platform I had was a 21-foot, was a Ranger Z521. Okay,
yeah.
So I'm used to standing up. And so that's how I fish most of the time. I'm standing up. And so, yeah, it was fun to at least get started, with a smaller kayak like that. But during that time, again, that's when I discovered KBF. And man, I was just blown away by how big, the tournament scene, with kayaks really was. I had no idea. And of course now it's just really huge, which is awesome. But
Yeah, I mean,
um,
like you really came in, bro.
oh yeah, it's
Yeah, like I mean,
fantastic.
it's been nothing but growth
Yeah,
since Elsie's feet hit the floor. But let's back up even a little bit there, because I mean, you started doing the challenge series online.
yeah. I wanted to start small, man. Like I said, I did some research. I looked and said, look, man, there's tournaments that goes on, with kayaks, and so that I was excited about that. But at the same time, if I'm going to do something like that, I want to be set up to where I can compete, right? So that, I guess this would have been what, 2 years ago now.
Yeah, you're looking at April, the spring challenge. It looks like was your first one that you signed up for, April 13th to the 16th, that weekend challenge.
Yeah, so that winter prior to that, then here in Indianapolis, we had the Indianapolis Boat Sport and Travel Show. It's a big outdoor show we have every year, and there were 2 or 3 different kayak vendors actually there, and so that's one of them carried native, and I saw that, and my hat's off to the guys that paddle. That's awesome. I'm not a paddler. I can't do it. I gotta
Like
have
I'm a native dude through and
I
through.
gotta have a rod in my hand. I can't do it. So
No, I get it.
I need to. I wanted a pedal drive of some kind. I saw the natives. I liked how wide they were.
It's
I
as
liked the
close
whole.
as you could get to your 21-foot boat.
As far as stability goes, man, it really was. So, I pulled the trigger and got one, and I haven't looked back since. And so, I've being in that type of platform has allowed me to fish somewhat similar to the way I fished actually standing up, that kind of thing, in a boat and so on and so forth. But
Now, do you remember seeing and being and witnessing what was going on with the 10 last season?
no, I mean, I heard of it, of course, but no,
Yeah.
I didn't. Like I said, I'm like blown away by this whole thing, because I didn't realize how how big or how exclusive, how elite this deal is.
Yeah, bro.
Man, I was
This
so
is
super
like
excited about this thing.
this is
Yeah.
it, bro. Like I love the NC, bro. And no, like the NC is a spectacle. Like it's a week. It's 500 folks. Like 500 plus. This year, I think we're already over close to 6. So I think we're gonna be 750 on Gunnersville this year.
Mhm.
And the NC is huge,
Yeah.
but this is the best of the best.
Yeah. And that's exciting. I mean, and I feel again so blessed to be a part of this group right now, and we'll get to it in a minute, I'm sure, but I mean, every angler in this 10 is just
Facts. All right, so then let's go
absolutely
forward to
awesome.
the NC. You had fished, you had done a bunch of challenges, you were finding some success, you were finding your groove, but when you decided to sign up for the NC and make that trip south and go down and fish, these amazing fisheries down in Louisiana, and into Bossier City and fishing, Caddo and these, and the Red River and these amazing fisheries that KBF brings us to.
Yeah.
Hosts is on, and you find out it's going to be it's a 3-day event. How many days of practice did you do, Mike?
I fished. I got there about a week ahead of time, so I practiced. I don't know, 5 or 6 days ahead of time. Yeah.
So day one, set me up. Give me the 2-3 minute version of day one
Day one of the tournament, or
of
day one of practice?
the NC, bro. The
Day
show.
one of day one of the tournament itself.
Yep, day one of the show. Yep.
I had an area that I was really confident in, um, but I knew that it wasn't going to hold up for a very long period of time. And so, yeah, day one, I mean, my first fish was a 20 and a quarter, I think it was. Yeah, it was a great start. My very next fish was a 20-incher that flopped off the board before I got the picture taken. It haunted me the entire time, Scott. I cannot tell you how upset I was about that happening. I just knew that if this thing was going to go south and, I lost out or missed a cut or something like that, it was going to be because of that one fish. But anyway, yeah, I had an area that I just, I did a little milk run. I kind of connected the dots. It just went round and around and round and round. It wasn't a very big area, and I was fishing specific hard targets, and I plucked some really nice ones off of them. Took me all day, but I finally got it done.
If you guys are watching live and tuning in right now, you're able to see what I'm throwing up here on the screen. But I've got the NRS leaderboard and Tourney X, because Tourney X is absolutely amazing at what they do and how they keep this stuff and how their back end database is just amazing. And Dwayne and the entire team over at Tourney X does a great job. So if you guys are listening on the podcast, you can't see the fish right now, but I'm just kind of running through as Mike's talking about them, dude. And you had some amazing fish on day one, bro. So go ahead, Mike, while I'm running through fish, bro, on Tourney X here. And I mean, talk about day two, bro. How did day two shape up for you?
So yeah, like I said, day one was an area that I just didn't feel that was going to hold up. I mean, like I said, I was fishing very specific targets, what I would call hard targets. And I mean, I know sometimes those things can reload, but I just didn't feel that this was an area that was going to reload. So I completely abandoned ship. I went opposite side of the lake, opposite end of the lake, and tried to find some stuff that was similar to the stuff that I did catch him on off of day one, just completely different area. Started off okay, I guess. I mean, I had a couple smaller fish pretty early, and then I went on a dry spell, like a major dry spell. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, that was day three. Never mind. Day two, I went on I had a little flurry mid-morning. I got my days mixed up. See,
you're good.
Yeah. Mid-morning on day two, yeah, I went on a little flurry, and yeah, I see that one there. That's 21 3/4, I think.
Guys, look, and Mike, I want to come back, but guys, I'm addicted. And this is an inappropriate term, and my apologies, but I call it fish porn. I don't care if it's PC or not. I'm addicted to Tourney X, and I'm addicted to the fish porn. I know that we've got to get that. Guntersville is going to be fire. I am so pumped and so jacked up to go to Guntersville for the NC. But guys, y'all go back and just look at the KBF NC that the champ here won, and look at everybody's pictures and just look at these fish. Look at how healthy. Look at
Super
the color.
healthy.
Look at how vibrant. And guys, we get to go back to this fishery not only later on this year for the challenge or the Trail Series Championship, but we get to go back there in 21. We're going back to Shreveport, Bossier City, back to these fisheries for the KBF NC in 21. And I just sorry, Mike, dude,
No, that's
going,
good, man.
These fish, bro,
that's fine.
They're so healthy. And we scored. Look right here on Tourney X, guys. They measured 3,941 fish. That's not counting the fish that guys didn't commit or didn't submit or were couldn't cull nothing. Right? That's insane. Insane. We get to go back.
I can't wait.
Day two, they cut to 100 guys.
Yeah.
On day three. Where were you? Do you remember exactly where you were at?
I was in second place going into day three by like an inch or so.
Did you sleep at all, Elsea?
Man, I tell you, that darn fish that got that second one out of the first day, I'm telling you, was killing me. Absolutely killing me. Because I should have been leading by like 18 inches, but instead I was down by 1 or 2. But anyway, that's the way it is.
So day three. What happened day three? You had a monstrous day three.
I had a monstrous last hour of day three. I started off good. Yes, my first fish was a 20-incher, and then this is where I started to talk out of place there a minute ago, but yeah. And after that first one, I think I might have caught a couple little small ones or one small one after that, and then it was nothing for like 3 hours. I couldn't get a bite. I mean, I was really starting to get worried. And then when I finally did start to get a few bites, they were small. They were like 16 inchers.
You just kept grinding though, bro.
I finally did get a limit or whatever, but I had, a 20 and maybe an 18 and then some 16s, and that was it. But I knew that, it wasn't good enough, because I mean, I think Greg Blanchard was just tearing them up that day.
Blanchard had a phenomenal day.
Excuse me. So yeah, and then then there towards the end of the day, that afternoon, we had a big storm blow up. A lot of rain, and then the wind kicked up like crazy. I don't think I've ever been in wind that blew that hard, that fast before.
Even in your, you're in one of the biggest rigs out there. I mean, even then, you're getting shoved around.
It was nuts. I mean, yeah, it was absolutely nuts. I had to basically turn the bow directly into the wind and pedal constantly and let the wind, like blow me around trees and, the things that I was fishing. And I mean, I would literally just drag, my bait, around those hard targets. And yeah, it was completely the Lord's doing there that last hour. Man, I'll probably still get choked up about it, actually. So that last hour, man, was just surreal. It was one 20 or 21 incher after another. I mean, it was almost to the point where I was like calling my shots, in a sense. I mean, I could point to a tree that might be 300 or 400 yards away and say to myself, there's a fish on that tree. And I would go 300 or 400 yards out of my way to that one tree all by itself, let the wind position me just right, and I would catch a 20 or a 21 or whatever it was. I mean, it was just like that for essentially 4 or 5 fish in a row.
All cards on the table. When did you know you won it?
Man, I had a really good feeling there, right there in those last 10 or 15 minutes, simply because my phone was blowing up. I mean, I wasn't looking at it, but people messaging and saying you got this, and I looked at all that later, but my phone just dinging and going crazy the whole time. I knew something was going on, and I had an idea that something good was happening for sure, but I really didn't know for sure until it was all said and done.
Yeah. Well, dude, so you've gone. I mean, we're gonna get into some of the 10 stuff. If you guys are just tuning in, welcome to the weigh-in, guys. We're on here with the champ himself. The champ is here, Mr. Mike Elsea. I'm your host, Scott Beutjer, and you guys know that I'm super proud of the show being presented to you guys by Fish USA. Fish USA does a phenomenal job of supporting the community, supporting the anglers, and really investing. And when I say investing, I don't mean investing monetarily, which they're doing, but investing time, investing emotionally, investing in support, in putting up events, coming to these places, doing these different things. It seems like every major event they've had representation at since they started coming into it. They just brought Jackson kayaks into the shop. That makes a third premium brand of kayak in the building, and able for you guys to go buy online. They've got all of our major companies, everybody that supports us, from NRS, from Yak Attack, Bonafide, Hobie. These guys have got it all, not to mention all of your baits, your tackle, your rods, your reels, all of the top of the line gear. And, I saw somebody the other day that posted up something. I'm telling you, support those that support you. And it's a great, great thing. So if you guys need anything over there, if you haven't been there already, make sure you check out fishusa.com. They are America's tackle shop. And you guys know you can use that swag tag that I use, that tackle your dreams, right? Y'all use that in your checkout there and save you a little bit of money there as well. So big thank you to those guys. So, Mike, we got to start talking about the 10 a little bit, bro. You didn't know, you answered it earlier. You didn't know what you were coming in, what it was last year. You're fully aware of what it is this year.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like I said, man, it is so exciting. I can't wait. I'm so excited to get down there.
So when did it start becoming real? Like you knew obviously that you were, that you were working towards AOI. You really competed the entire season. I mean, you've been burning up the roads, living life, fishing as hard as you can. You've been on that grind, champ, trying to not be one and done. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I know. And like I said, I don't. I feel like I had just aside from the NC. I mean, me personally, I feel like I just kind of did mediocre this year. I had a lot of things that just didn't quite go my way. I mean,
Mediocre, but I'm in the top 10 guys in the country.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I didn't fish very clean in a lot of events. I lost a lot of fish this year.
Yeah.
Stupid things would happen. I mean, the regional, the regional on Pickwick.
Yeah.
I mean, all right. So I had like the second largest smallmouth I've ever hooked. I mean, it was no question 6 pounds in my net. All right, it was in the net, and as I was lifting the thing out of the water, it flopped one more time. The hook came out. The net tilted in my hand, and she swam out of the net. I mean, it's stuff like that. I mean, it's stuff like that happened way too often this year.
So what was the turning point? When did you realize, did you realize coming before you were announced that you were in the 10, or did you start studying the 10 afterwards and really realize what this tournament is?
Oh, it was after the fact. I never thought I was going to be here. Not at all. I mean, after the regional, ended up finishing second at regional, and I knew that helped my points standings quite a bit. And then, we went to lacrosse there, and I mean, yeah, I was kind of within striking distance. I mean, I think sitting 13th or something like that going into the event. But I mean, 3 places, with one event to go, in my mind is a pretty, big jump to make, and it doesn't happen all that often. So I was shocked. I mean, I really was shocked when they called my name up there.
Now, if we go back, you watched. I've seen you be a part of watching and watched almost every episode we've had here in this 10 series here on the way in. But on night number 2, when we had Brad Case on, we threw the graphic that you see on the screen now, where we talk about this payout. When we announced this, bro, I mean, you won a bunch of money. Like, you've already won the biggest checks around. But what does it feel like? Like, what did it? How did you feel when you realized this is a $10,000 check that I don't have to buy in to go win?
Yeah. First of all, man, I definitely thank Chad and KBF, the whole crew, DZ, for making this possible. For all of us to be able to go there and have a check waiting on us already is awesome. I mean, it is just that's the elite of the elite. It's just awesome.
If there's people that don't understand that, you just said it. I'm gonna let you explain it. A check waiting on you. Explain that, Mikey.
Well, right there, the graphic shows it. I mean, we're all getting paid. We've already got a check.
All you got to do is drive to Florida and pick up $1,000 check.
Right. And I mean, it's just awesome. I love that. It feels like you're at the Bassmasters Classic or something like that. Essentially it's what it is in the kayak community.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. I can't wait. That takes a little bit of pressure off. But I'm not going to be satisfied with a $1,000 check.
Okay, well, now there it is right there. Now, so you're not satisfied with $1,000. That means you got to do better than 6th place, because the bottom 6 are taking home are only keeping that $1,000. Now we can go up to 5th place, Mikey, and double your money. You can triple your money out of 4th. You can go to $4,000 for 3rd place. 2nd place is not shabby at taking home $5,000.
That's good, man.
Bro, the number 1 spot is $10,000, but you've got this ragtag bunch right here, though, looking to not allow you that $10,000 paycheck.
I know it, man. Every one of them, every person here, straight up hammer. They're great individuals, great anglers. It's going to be tough.
Now, let me introduce, in case you guys are new to watching, let me introduce you guys to these 10 faces below Mikey right here on the screen. So a couple of nights ago, and you guys are welcome to go back. Y'all can find every one of these interviews. We've done an interview every single night for the last 12 nights. We've got 2 more after this one, with tomorrow night rounding out with Josh Stewart, and then on Sunday night with the AOY from this season, the Tennessee Hammer, Russ Snyder's. But we started this thing with Brad Case. Brad Case is coming in the house as an OG. It's his second time being in the house. He's a frogging champ. He's a stand and go. He's a Purple Heart veteran. He gave 30 plus years of his life to the armed forces. Just a phenomenal human being on the water and off. Jamie Broad is a guy who is just ready. I mean, ready. He's been ready all year. He fished very well at the NC with Elsea and the rest of the crew. Casey Reed, I think, is probably the most focused individual I've seen in a kayak. The dude is dialed in. Cody Milton, guys, he won it last year. He won this event last year, and this is his 3rd time coming to this house. He was last year's AOY. The kid just cut a really sweet mullet and is ready. The KBF kid, Dylan, he's ready. And he's coming. He just got a truck. He just turned 15, bought a truck. He wants to spend 10 grand on that truck. The scary thing there is, if he spends 10 grand on the truck, does he start chasing girls and quit chasing bass? Dylan, it's yet to be seen, brother.
Been there, done that.
Right? Matt is probably got more hardware than I would take the bet. I would take the negotiation of Matthew Scotch's hardware versus the rest of everyone else in the 10 combined. That's a conversation. Derek Brundle, his interview 2 nights ago blew me away. If you guys missed it, go watch that one. I'm telling you right now, go watch that interview first. His story is incredible, and Hoover put more opportunities on the plate for him to win and more reason for him to be fired up than anybody else. Ken Wood, we interviewed last night. Ken Wood is coming to play. This is his 2nd year in a row, and last year he is still not happy with where he finished up. He's coming back with a vengeance and a big old chip on his shoulder. You better believe it. The champ's got to defeat all these guys. Then you got Josh Stewart, who we're interviewing tomorrow night. Josh Stewart is the only guy to come into this competition 4 years in a row. He's never missed a 10. You know how many 10 wins he has? 0. We're going to talk to him tomorrow night about that. Tomorrow night, 8:30, right here, we'll have on Josh Stewart. The Hammer and all-around AOY for this season out of Tennessee, Russ Snyder's, is going to close this thing out for a Sunday night. A lot of people in the industry are putting their money on Russ. A lot of people are putting their money on Russ. Elsea, champ, I've asked every single one of your competitors every single night, 3 of these guys that can beat you and why.
Man, I know that's probably one of the hardest questions that you've asked. And, Cody, of course, is going to be number 1 there because, I mean, the dude's just good. I've fished with him, around him, against him all year long. And, I mean, not to mention he's somewhat familiar with these waters. So he's just going to be flat out tough.
Somewhat familiar. He lived there. It was his backyard.
I was just being modest, but yeah, okay.
I don't do modesty. That ain't how I roll, champ.
Yeah.
Cody's coming to play. I don't know if you
listened
to his interview closely or not, Mike, and he's humble at how he says it, but he's been fishing for a check. He hasn't been fishing for the check.
I get that.
That's
I know.
Scary.
I heard that.
Who's your number 2, bro?
Man, I tell you, I got to go with Josh on this one. I really do because, he's a Cinco throwing fool, and Florida fish love, for whatever reason, they love those stupid do-nothing lures like that.
He was ahead almost a foot last year going into the final day.
Well, he's due also. He's due. You get there enough times, it's going to happen sometime or another.
Does it?
Hopefully not this year. Sorry, Josh. But
okay.
Yeah.
Who's your 3, champ?
Man, that is, it truly is a toss up. I mean, Casey, his interview was really, really good the other day. And I don't know him all that well, but I know that he is a very, like you say, cerebral, very focused individual.
He scares me.
And I really, I mean, he's been on the top of the leaderboard a lot, obviously since he's here. But it's really a toss up between him and Matthew Scotch as for number 3. I mean, those guys, but and again, I don't know Scotch all that well, but he, like you said, the amount of hardware that he's got, he can catch him. He can catch him anywhere, and he's definitely going to be a threat. But I got to just say this though too, that I am a huge fan now of Mr. Derek Brundle. I mean, his interview the other day was just awesome, and he won the hearts of a lot of people, and mine being included.
Yeah,
so I'm a huge fan. If I can't win this thing, I'm rooting for him.
So you're okay with second place as long as Brundle's in first?
No.
Okay. So it's one thing to say something, but when we're really getting to the tax.
If Brundle wins, man, that's awesome. I'll be the first guy to congratulate him. Absolutely. Be so happy for him. Yeah. The rest of it doesn't really matter.
You ain't coming out of my pocket because you see him coming in.
It's win or go home here. I mean, that's just it.
It's 10 grand, bro.
I know.
10K.
Yeah. And for me, personally, not to try to open up another can of worms, but it's a little bit more than that for me this time around.
Why is that, champ?
Well, I'm kind of been on the fence a little bit about really trying to jump in both feet and doing this for a living. This is my dream. It's what I want to do. And I mean, I feel like I'm real close right there, but a win here would give me that extra push of confidence to to know that I could do this. And so if I don't know if any of my coworkers are watching or not, but if Lord wills and I happen to win this thing, yeah, I
want to talk about that, champ, and Mike punched me in the mouth when you see me, bro, in a couple of Florida, but I'm gonna throw all of our business in the street. 24 hours after hoisting a check above your head, we were having some very private conversation, and I'm not gonna reference everything, but I'm gonna put this in the street. I'm gonna put a little bit of the business in the street. I got your back, Mike. I'm gonna put a little bit of the business, okay? You literally asked me, do I call my boss now and quit? Like, what do I do? And I was like, Mikey, what did I tell you? Pump the brakes.
You did. You said hold off.
Hold off, because you're fixing to get run into a spin cycle, a straight up, bro. And I ain't gonna toot my own horn, but everything I told you was true, right?
Pretty much, yep.
But you've grinded this season. You've grown this season. You've seen the ins and outs. You've really immersed. No disrespect. You were a stranger to the community for the most part when you rolled into Louisiana.
Oh, I know I was.
You're not a stranger now, Mikey. You're not a stranger now. Now this is you've done everything but piss around KBF and mark your territory this season. If you can come into the house, if you can come into the 10 house down in Kissimmee Chain of Lakes, representing Kissimmee Sports, representing DZ, representing all these companies, all these names, representing that Elsea name that you have so much pride for, bro, that blood that pumps through them veins, come in and win this thing and take home the 10 and the NC in the same year, right? Scheduling or whatever.
Yep.
That's never been done.
I know.
Is this an opportunity, Mike, for you to put your name in the history books? You're already there with an NC championship.
If If I'm not mistaken, I think you're trying to add some more pressure to me there, Scotty.
No, bro. I'm asking.
I'm just kidding,
Are
man.
you
It's all
comfortable? I
good.
know you pretty well, Mike. We've had some real conversations off scene. Are you comfortable? I'm asking you right now, bro. Are you comfortable only having your name as NC?
No, absolutely not. No, I would like to have this as well. I would. I want this. I want AOR. I want to win every tournament I fish. I mean, I know it's not going to happen, but that's my mindset. I want to win every time.
Gentlemen, if you're listening and you're in the 10 house right now, did you hear what he just said? He wants to win every time. This man is coming. He is loading up. He's bringing everything he's got, years of knowledge. Dylan, I love you, bro. This man's been fishing 20 years longer than you've been alive. Brundle, he loves your story, dude. He's got a big heart for you. He's a God-loving man. He wants your lunch, bro. Brad Case, he don't care that you fished, back in the Civil War. This man's coming, guys. I'm interested to see whether or not any of these 10 guys can stop you, bro.
I'm just going to go down there and just do the best I can, catch what I can catch, and let the chips fall where they may. That's all I can do.
If we're praying to God tonight, and I know you would never pray this way. I don't mean to put that on you, sacrilege. But if you're drawing out the perfect map, this is the weather, these are the conditions, this is what I would throw. What lays out in Kissimmee? What lays out at the Kissimmee Channel Lakes for you to just walk away with this $10,000 check? What's the perfect conditions? What are you throwing? What's going down for the champ to take this home?
And that's tough. I mean, Florida, I don't have a whole lot of experience in Florida. I fished it a couple times, I guess. And it just so happens the 2 or 3 times that I have fished it, it's been in cold front conditions. And dude, Florida bass are a bunch of sissies when it comes to cold fronts. I mean, they are a bunch of sissies. They just get lockjaw and they're really, really hard to catch, at least for me. So that's one thing I hope that does not happen. And I know some of the other guys are kind of hoping that happens is a cold front. I hope we don't have a cold. I hope it's fairly stable. And man, I'm a decent. I feel like I'm a pretty decent sight fisherman. So if we catch this thing when they're during the spawn when they're on, I may have a chance if we find a few big ones.
If it's spawn, bro, and it's that kind of weather, like you think you got what it takes in the tank to take out Russ Snyder's?
I know Russ is a great angler. I know he is. I don't know. Like I said, I can catch him off the bed pretty good. I have, at least in the past. It's just it would be a matter of finding the right quality.
Hoover just nailed it. Hoover's watching. He says what you just said right there. That's why everybody else is hoping there's a cold front, because they know what you can do.
Yeah, I get that. But, at the same time, if there does, again, if there is a cold front, I've fished Florida in cold fronts before, so at least I'll have an idea of what to do.
Let me ask you another tough question. Bro. Welcome to the weigh-in, right? Like this, you're in the hot seat right now, dog. What would be failure? And I know that's a harsh word, but you understand what I mean by that. What would be failure leaving the 10 for Mike?
Going down there and just, flat out flopping on my face. Blanking, whatever, catching 1 or 2,
pulling a Ken Wood.
I didn't say that. You did.
I'm just putting it out. I'm not an angler. I'm just putting it in the streets. Ken knows. I interviewed Ken last night. That's what I'm saying. That's what makes Ken scary this tournament.
I get it.
I promise you, I don't know that there's been. I know Ken Wood well. I love Ken Wood. I don't know that he's gone to sleep at night since that event where he hasn't thought about
it. And it can happen. It's Florida. It can happen. Florida bass are weird. They just are. They just are. So we'll see. Hopefully it won't be quite that tough. But
well, So there's I mean, you literally came into the sport. We touched on this earlier. Let's dig into it a little bit now. We got a few more minutes with you. I know we got to close that on time tonight. But what with everything that's gone on since you rolled into the sport, and with all of these opportunities now popping up across the community, for you to do exactly what you just said 10 minutes ago, you want to do, which is do this for a living.
Yeah.
Bass is coming to the game hard.
Yeah.
Hobie's coming to the game hard. Both are going to do phenomenal tournament series. KBF is back bigger than ever. There's a lot of opportunity. What does 2020 look like, bro?
Yeah. A lot of it is really going to kind of depend on the outcome of this event coming up here in Kissimmee. It really is. But aside from that, I'm hoping 2020 is. I hope to fish the majority of the Pro Tour for KBF. I know there's I forget that I know there's new divisions, new regions or whatnot in the Trail Series. I forget the different names of them. The one I'm in, the Indiana. Let's see, there's Monroe and Lake St. Clair and I forget whichever. But anyway, yeah, that division I hope to fish. I would like to fish a few of the bass, the BASS events, and including the first one. I really would like to fish that one. That one's going to be a little weird. I haven't looked into that just a whole lot yet because I believe that tournament's on the 5th.
It's on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how that's all going to play as far as like how they're going to do the awards and all that. If they're going to wait till the weekend to do that or not.
I'm hopeful to get Steve Owens and maybe Tyler on later on in in early February. Once we get through this, I'm hoping to bring those guys on the show and talk a little bit about that. We're gonna look into that and see if we can make that happen. So,
well, I just bring that one up just because so one of the things I do, if you didn't already know, I'm a fitness trainer as well, and so I'm one of my clients. I'm training to run a 4-mile race that weekend, the 8th actually, and I promised her that I'd
run a 4-mile race, or you're training them to run a 4-mile race. Keeping up.
Both actually. I promised them that I would do it with her. So yeah. So if I go and fish the classic or the event on Logan Martin, I'm gonna have to do really well on the 5th and then book it home so I can run a 4-mile race on the 8th. So
what if they want you to walk across the stage on the 8th, bro, at the classic?
I know that's the thing. I don't know. I don't like to break promises, so I would be here actually running that race instead.
When I told you guys earlier while he was in the green room that this is one of the better human beings I've ever met, I meant it. Bro, Mike, I love you to death, bro. I consider you a brother, man. I can't wait to see you in Kissimmee in just a couple of weeks, man. I got nothing but love for you. I can't wait to be down there in this house. What do you feel like this house is going to do to you mentally?
Oh, I think it's just going to be so much fun. I mean, I'm so excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be doc talk and all that, and people playing games, which is all fine and good. I don't let the doc talk get to me at all. I'm all about fun and games and having a good time, and I'm just really excited about getting down there and spending time with the fam.
You think one of these guys is going to be able to be gotten to with the dog talk?
I really don't. No, these guys have all proven themselves already. I mean, that's why they're there. That's why they're here. They're in the top 10 for a reason. So I don't think so. I think it's mostly going to be fun and games than anything.
Love it, guys. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the weigh-in. I'm your host, Scott Beutjer. We're on with the champ. The champ is here. He's in the building, having some amazing conversation with the champ, Mr. Mike Elsea, as he gets ready to head to Kissimmee Chain of Lakes. Big shout out to Kissimmee Sports for the DZ the 10 competition, fighting for his share of $30,000 against 10 of the best anglers in the world. Now, there's an opportunity here, and our last thing we're going to touch on before we let you roll out of here and roll out the red carpet for you, Mike. There's a competition before the competition. It's
Yeah.
called Easy Invitational. This is an opportunity for somebody to come down here and win their way into this house, win a pocket full of money, win one of those $1,000 checks to walk in the door, and then come take your money. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I qualified for that thing last year, and I didn't come down and fish it. It was just
Didn't realize what it was.
it's too much too soon, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, with whatever work, whatever kind of excuse you want to throw in there. I didn't come down to fish it. But this year, yeah, since I'm there, yeah, I don't want anybody else in there. I'm with the other 10 guys. I haven't actually signed up for the Invitational yet, but I'm going to do that because I want it to be
You gotta go play defense, bro.
us 11, and that's it.
I want to talk about a guy that you beat out. The number 2 guy this year on the NC.
Yeah,
Drew Gregory.
Drew's going to be there.
He's coming to fish. He got all cards on the table. Drew Gregory can come down and win this Invitational. Come in here and take this check from all you guys. Straight up.
Yeah, Drew's a good guy. He's a good fisherman. Jody Queen's going to be there here, and he's a hammer, obviously. I mean, there's going to be a lot of good people coming down to try to get in. I mean, it's anybody's game. Yeah,
Craig
it's anybody's game.
Corey Dreyer.
Right. That man right there he's going to be a threat. I mean, he fishes Florida a lot. But yeah, there's going to be some good guys there for sure.
I love it, bro.
But there's already 10 of the best guys there anyway.
And y'all want to keep it that way. You're in that group. You're in that pack.
Absolutely.
Dude, I've loved the last couple of weeks, or the last couple of months, really. We've had this little private group going on in the 10 and had some conversations going back and forth. And I love the camaraderie you guys are already sharing. I love it. I can't wait to get down to the house. I want to thank you, bro, for coming on the show. And I want to roll out the red carpet for you, bro. And give you an opportunity to thank sponsors, give shouts out to family, friends, anybody you need to. And this is your opportunity to do just that before you walk away from us tonight. If you guys missed any of this conversation, make sure that you go back and check it out on every major podcast platform. You can find the rewind on kayakbassfishing.com/the weigh-in, or you can go to Scott Beutjer Fishing on YouTube. If you got friends or family, some people aren't on Facebook, which is weird because it's 2020. Get on Facebook, people. But anyway, you can go find us on YouTube at Scott Beutjer Fishing and catch up with every single one of these weigh-in episodes. It's been a blast. We've had a great time. We've got 2 more coming up. But let me roll out the red carpet for you, champ, on your way out the door, bro. It's the mic's yours, dude. Who you want to thank? Who you got to give a shout out to?
Man, first of all, I want to thank you for doing this show. It's you've done a great job giving us all some time on the camera, and it's awesome. KBF, Chad, the whole crew there. You guys rock. Yeah, you know who I said. They rock, man. So I definitely want to thank them for the whole opportunity. Some of the folks that support me, Titan Tungsten, is one of my biggest sponsors, and they are awesome. I know.
Email Kings.
People can get on him all they want for marketing, but I'm
not that guy.
Listen,
I love it.
They've got the products to back it up. Their products are flat out the best on the market, bar none. They're awesome.
I've got some right here, actually.
Yeah, Yak Attack. Yak Attack is another group that awesome, supporters. All the different accessories to make your kayak your own. They do it up. They do it right. Of course, Native Watercraft. I fished. I started with them, and they've definitely had my back and provided me a good platform to do what I do best, to do what I love to do. Fitzgerald Fishing. They've got some great products, great rods. Sink or Swim Tackle. Josh Eichner up there in New York is a good friend of mine. I've known him for a long time, and that dude
I've heard that name a lot.
That dude can tie some jigs, man. Let me tell you, he can tie some jigs. Limit Baits, another great company. BFH, that's Bowman Family Holdings. They're an energy company here at home that have been a supporter. I've known the family for a really long time, and they've supported me for, as long as I can remember, when I've fished the Bassmaster Opens and all that. So they've carried on through. Yak Power, Just came on board with Yak Power this over the course of the winter this past year here.
Man, your boat's probably rigged out now. I like it.
Man, it's lit up, man. It looks like it's gonna look like a spaceship going across there now.
I love it, dude.
Cool.
They make great stuff, bro.
Fishing online, retailer there. Power pole. I love my power pole. I don't know what I'd do without it. I use that thing a lot. And it's really going to come in handy down there, especially if we get it on a sight fishing game.
If it plays out like you want it to, that power pole is going to anchor you down all the way to the championship.
Sure does. YOLO Tech, another one, definitely. Their camera mounts are really neat. They come on board and are supporting me as well this year. So definitely want to thank all those guys. I may be missing some, and if I am, I apologize. But all my friends and family, that I've got here around that are kind of cheering me on. It's really cool. Can't thank them enough. I got I wasn't going to do this, but right here, actually sitting beside me now, is a gal. Her name's Peyton, and she made this night possible because you and I literally made it possible. I'm using her phone right now because for whatever reason I can't figure out anything on my phone.
She got off the clock at work half an hour ago, guys.
I know. And so
well, maybe now you'll buy an iPhone.
If you use that 10 grand to buy a phone, punk.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, I need
guys, hey guys, if you guys are watching right now, I don't know if she'll see it or not, but go say thank you, Peyton, right now in the comment section. Go drop thank you, Peyton, in the comments. If you're watching live right now, it's PEYTON. Shout out, thank you, Peyton, because without her, I would have never figured out how to work this.
No, it would have been a very frustrating evening. But at any rate, so thank you for again.
You're welcome.
Last but not least, of course, got to thank God. I mean, without him, none of this would be possible. So that's it, man. I really appreciate the time. Appreciate you, Scott, and looking forward to seeing you all down to Kissimmee.
No problem, dude. I can't let you leave without asking about the pet bunny. What's up? How's the bunny?
I don't have it right now, man.
Oh no!
Yeah. That's a long story. We don't have time. We're out of time.
Oh man. I'm gonna call you privately. I want to know what happened to the rabbit.
Yeah, it's coming back, but I don't have it right now. Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
Oh man, we might have opened a can of worms here. Welcome to the 2.0, guys.
Yeah, we're out of time. Sorry.
Welcome to the weigh-in, guys. We ask the tough questions around here. Mikey, brother, thank you so much. You're the champ for a reason. You're a champion on the water. You're a champion off the water, bro. I'll see you in a couple of weeks down here, and I think you got all the talent, all the capabilities in the world to go down here and win this thing. And no pressure, but I think if you don't win it, I think it's your fault.
Appreciate that. Thanks.
All right. I appreciate it, champ. Thanks for your time tonight. Peyton, thank you so much. And you can unfriend me on Facebook if you want to. It's no hard feeling.
It's cool. I'll keep you as a friend. You seem pretty cool.
I got a friend, everybody.
Yay. All right.
My first one. My first friend. I like it. Thank you, champ. I appreciate your time tonight, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Take care now.
Got it. All right, guys. That does it right there. That's the champ, Mr. Mike Elsea. Had a great conversation with him tonight. Learned a lot. There's a ton going on in the space and in the community. The dude's a hammer. I'm telling you guys right now. There have been some phenomenal national champions. As a matter of fact, every one of them has been. They're all still competing. They're all still in it to win it. They're all still always a threat when they're on the water. Mike's got an opportunity to separate himself from the pack of national champions in just 3 weeks, a little less than 3 weeks' time down at Kissimmee Sports. He's got an opportunity to do something that the other three have not been able to do yet. Whether or not he can do that, I 100% believe it's going to land on him. I think it's going to come down to what he decides to do, where he decides to go, and how clean he can fish. He has all the tools and all the talent in the world to go do this thing. He's been fishing it for a long time. So whether or not he can put all that together and keep these other 10 guys, Chad nailed it on it. Chad nailed it in the comment section a little earlier when he said he don't think anybody's going to get shook in this house. Chad nailed it. Chad's seen it. Chad's watched it every single year firsthand. The house is going to get to somebody. I'm telling you right now, the house is going to get to somebody. It's all going to come down to how these guys play it, how well they fish it, how much information they share, how much they keep, how much they push out. I'm sorry, but it's human nature. There's 0% chance. 0% chance you get out in that water and you don't play something back through that somebody said in that living room, right? That kitchen table, right? Or on that back porch while everybody else went to bed and there was just two of you and you thought, oh, this is my buddy, this, that, whatever. And we got a phenomenal community, second to none in the kayak space. But this house is a competitor. It's a living, breathing competitor in and of its own. And I think it will beat you. It will beat you between the ears. We're going to see how this thing plays out. I can't wait. I mean, I can't wait. If you guys haven't noticed, every single night I come on this show and I'm just giddy. I am ready. This is going to be a phenomenal event, a phenomenal 10. DZ coming in hot and heavy. It's going to be good. Good. Can't wait to get down to Kissimmee Channel Lakes. Big thank you to Kissimmee Sports. Big thank you to KBF. This is going to be a good time. Tomorrow night, same bat channel, same bat time, 8:30 Eastern time, right here. We got on he is the most accomplished, the most consistent angler in this house. This coming into his 4th year, coming into the 10, Josh Stewart, tomorrow night, right here at 8:30 Eastern time, 7:30 Central. We're going to have him on and we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. As a matter of fact, he's on his way back from quite an adventure himself. We talked early this morning. So it'll be an entertaining show to say the least, but it'll be an educating show too. The dude, the dude's got every ability to go win this event as well. So tomorrow night we'll talk with Josh Stewart. Sunday night we got on the AOY this year, Mr. Russ Snyder's himself. And then on Monday night, you guys come back for our final show in this 10 series. And we're going to have on the original champs, the co-champs, with Ron Champion and Corey Dreyer. They tied for first place and ultimately became the first ever co-champs. And they'll be the only co-champs to ever be in this 10 series. And we got them both on Monday night right here. And we're going to give away some prizes. We're going to give away $1,000 in DZ bucks. So make sure you guys tune in. That does it for me, guys. Friday night. I love you guys. As always, I'm Scott Beutjer telling you guys to attack your dreams. Thank you for checking out the weigh-in. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Holla. Woo! Mike Elsea was good. Man, he was good. Thank you so much, Peyton, for helping that man out. He was on the struggle bus. He could not.